When Naked Plants Renew, Keely, OShaughnessy. On the evening our neighbours bring their new baby girl home, I'm looking out at the street and watch them arrive. The orchids that line our windowsill tremble as their car pulls up. "Are they back?" Jen calls from the kitchen. "Nothing yet." They shut off the headlights, and then the guy, I think his name is Liam, helps his wife from the passenger's side. They both stop and coo at the child, and viewed through the curtain's net, the edges of this new family tableau are softened into watercolour. My voice sounds small and strange in the lie, and I wonder if Jen might come out anyway. Seeing them there, she would note their stretched and immovable smiles and say something like, "Isn't that great for them?" Or, "What a cutie, eh?" And despite her shrugging, I'd feel the knot in her belly tightening, just as it does in mine. We've tried for years, waiting for the magic to happen, for Jen's stomach to swell and fill up those hairline cracks that can't be plugged or sealed by anything else. We've followed all the advice and seen handfuls of specialists. "It takes time" is my favourite. Like that's all that's required. For a while, after they've gone inside, I stay by the window. First, I pick at the mesh of the curtain and then at one of the orchid's wide, fleshy leaves. At the end of a thick stem is a cluster of 3 glossy green buds. Orchids grow painfully slowly. This one, the circle of life, if it blooms, will send out broad, vivid red petals with a central flute that looks something like a vulva. This is the lip, or labellum. I know this because Jen knows this. She knows that the throat of a moth orchid looks like the all-seeing eye of a leopard's pelt, and that an orchid can easily stop or fail to grow. Too much light and they scorch, too much water and their compost becomes inhospitable. Tonight, Jen is making Tuscan chicken, which we'll eat while she talks about the time we toured the Palazzo Pitti. And then later, after finishing a bottle of Tignanello, she'll tell me how Florence is a beautiful girl's name. I listen as Jen pours out the wine. She slurps from hers and tops it up. The house is too quiet, so I switch on the TV and return to my post at the window. The streetlights flicker on and the neighbour's front door opens again. This time, just Liam emerges with the buggy. He paces up the street, undulating the buggy as he walks. He does a loop of the cul-de-sac before doubling back and stopping just beyond the path that separates our properties. He checks his phone. Screen glare illuminates his face. I could take the baby, slip out and slip back while he's busy scrolling Twitter. Liam's eyes are heavy, already sleep deprived. He'd barely notice. The baby's formative memory hasn't yet developed. She hasn't had a chance to imprint. She'd come to know only my voice, my cadence, my timbre. The fantasy evaporates as Liam bumps the buggy up the front step before they both disappear inside. When Jen comes in, she hands me my glass and gestures towards next door's car. "I think we just missed them," I say. "I got a present, a bunny toy rattle thing." A neatly wrapped present adorned with a teddy bear shaped tag sits on the stairs. They need time to adjust, Jenny. They don't need us lurking around. I put my arm around her, but she's already inspecting the orchids for new growth. After pollination, it takes some orchids months to flower. Jen knows this. I know this. Yet, for a moment, I think I see the bud on the circle of life move. I say something to Jen about the wine, a crass but witty line about roofies. She doesn't reply and squeezes the orchid plant food dropper that's stuck upright in its pot. And then, at time-lapse speed, the dome of petals pulsates and grows. The growth is exponential. Within a minute, it has doubled in size and then tripled. I check to see Jen is seeing what I am. She interlaces her hand in mine and squats low to the ground. We breathe together. Slow breaths to start with, growing until we are panting. I think of the fertility talisman that is kept locked in the drawer of Jen's nightstand, a souvenir from Kenya. Carved from walnut, its engorged breasts are etched with spirals. If I found it now, I'm sure its eyes would be glowing, feeding on something from deep within us. In my head, the wooden talisman takes on a cartoonish quality, the green of the glow far too fluorescent to be real. Yet there's part of me that accepts this primal event for what it is, uniquely biological. It's strange, but I know what's happening. Like looking at the sun with your eyes closed, there's a warmth, an intensity, the sense of something more. Beneath the plant's dorsal sepal, an embryo is forming. The stem dips and bows under the pressure of this new weight. A mass of pollen and sinew, the bud has ballooned to the size of a large watermelon. The flower's column is now so stretched, the outline of a tiny foot is visible. Its shape is embossed on the petals for a second before it dissipates. I reach for Jen and haul her up from the carpet. This is happening, I say. My voice is shaky and her breathing is ragged. From behind us, an advert for life insurance is on the TV. Its jingle some tinny elevator music. The Tuscan chicken, Jen says. It's burning. I know, I say. Placing our hands around the bloom, the tap-tap, tap-tap of a heartbeat is unmistakable.